You are listening to episode 12 of the CMD Project. Today we are joined by a guest of mine, Brody Woodell, former, lead digital producer for Bloom, Tampa Bay, correct? 10 years in news and media.
That's right.
And something that I was super impressed with, man. #1 bestseller for your book that you wrote. So You're officially a published author.
I'm officially a published author. 2 weeks in a row I had that title.
Get your brand featured for free.
Yep.
Short read. I went ahead and grabbed it on Amazon. I think it was about $15-16.
Yeah, not bad.
Thing I liked about it, man, it's short.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of time, so that was great. And it was straight to the point. None
Exactly.
of that fluff, none of the bull crap. Had some good tidbits in here. You gave essentially how, as a business owner, to reach out to the news and the media and get your brand featured.
Exactly.
So, and I think I don't really think I understand how it can apply to maybe, because I kind of specialize in service-based blue-collar businesses. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, but I do get it maybe, because you did mention, you specialized in lifestyle writing.
Yep.
You did mention not every, writer is the same. Someone might specialize in those breaking news stories of insurance companies screwing over the homeowner.
Yeah.
As where you gave a couple examples in the book of, like restaurants you might advertise or network at. Mm-hmm. And then I really like the templates you gave and the emails. A lot of people, they make the mistake of writing too much.
Yes.
As someone who I'm sure gets 300-400 emails a day, you're probably clicking through, reading one sentence, and if it's not interesting, you're moving on to the next.
You have to. Yeah.
So tell me, man. Tell me about your story, though. Because I know you're not really from Florida. How'd you get down here? How'd you get involved into news and media?
Yeah. Interesting story. First off, thank you for reading. Love that. So I'm from Illinois originally.
Okay.
I lived there most of my life. I was always kind of in the early days of YouTube and stuff like that. I got into watching the videos and how they made stuff and content creation. And so I wanted to kind of go into something similar to that. Mm-hmm. And so my dad actually worked in radio for a little bit of while, and then he was a DJ. So he was like, well, you can go into news media, stuff like that, try that out. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So when I went to college, I did broadcasting. I thought I wanted to be a news anchor or something like that. But then I got into it and I went, this is just so limiting. It's kind of old, and it was more like what I wanted to do with YouTube. So for my first gig, I actually ran teleprompter for a morning news show, which is everyone knows it's the thing where it goes down and it tells them what to say because they can't memorize that every single day. They have to do 5 shows a day.
Anytime I think of a teleprompter, man, I think of Anchorman.
Yes.
He just, no matter what, he reads what's on.
Exactly. Trust me. And sometimes they're going too fast or going too slow, And so then I got my gig there it's called a digital producer, which at the time basically meant you did a little bit of everything. It was still new. So those articles you would see online, it used to be on Facebook or something like that, and you would click and it would take you to a news website. So you're basically a digital journalist. So you're writing, researching, editing, talking to people. We also had to run social media. We also had to make videos. I learned how to fly a drone, stuff like that. So I really cut my teeth doing a little bit of everything. And then I do that from years and years. I ended up during the COVID pandemic, I went and I moved down to Mexico for a little while and worked remote.
What part?
Yeah. So I went all over, Ciudad de Mexico, Morelia, Michoacan, but I lived the most time in Playa del Carmen. So I met an au pair while she was working here.
That's Cancun area, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep, I've been down there.
So I had me a local native speaking girlfriend that I went down there with and traveled around. It's crazy. I only dated her for I loosely, you know what I mean, for a month and a half, 2 months. And she was going home to visit her family. She goes, why don't you come to Mexico with me? And I was like, that's crazy. We've been seeing each other for 2 months. But then I thought about it and I was like,
you only live once.
Why not?
Yeah.
That sounds super cool. And it ended up being such a great experience. And now I say I can go around.
How long do you live down there?
About 6 to 8 months, I would say. If I remember.
A little bit of time.
Between the time, because I had taken a couple trips. But during COVID, that's when I really was there working, doing the digital nomad thing. And I loved it. Of course, I didn't make shit for money back then, though. So I was
you're in Mexico. Do you really need to?
Yeah, it was significantly less than you would think. But it was funny because everyone sees this white dude with his Mexican girlfriend, thinks that he must have money. And I was freaking 23, 24 years old at the time. You know what I mean? I was just enough. So fell in love with the sun and the beach. And I went, dude, I don't want to go back to Illinois. I can't live there after all this. And ended up coming out to Tampa. They offered me a job and I did that. I did
So
news.
you landed the job before you came here?
Yes, right before I came down. They helped me move down. Did me like
You've been here, what, about 3-4 years?
About 4 or 5, yeah. Worked
Nice.
at like 4 different stations. And this last one is where I pivoted into lifestyle. So I was doing more like news and different stuff. Like I always had little side projects I would do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they just always want you to, you know, corporate. They just want you to do a certain thing. They're like if
Don't ruffle any
yeah,
feathers.
exactly. And so every time I would get too big for where I was at doing too much, and they told me I couldn't do something, I would go somewhere else that would let me do it, and go somewhere else that would let me do it. And finally, I ended up here where they called me and they said, we're launching a new lifestyle brand. We need someone to build it and launch it and do all this. And we've seen your stuff. It looks great. Like, name your price, come out here. And I go, okay, this, boom, come out, launched it. And lifestyle's great because it's more interesting. It's stuff like this. You know, you can talk about finance and relationships and fitness and health and stuff like that. So that's where I ended up. And then I was working with so many PR people and doing stories. You know, I always wanted to get like what was going on. And, you know, being in there, like you say, like through networking, I have had interesting friends that were doing cool shit. And so I would like get them on to tell their story. And then finally I realized I had a light bulb moment where I went, I could show other people how to do this and monetize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's where the book came from.
So that's where the idea came. How long did it take you to write this? Or even flesh it out, kind of?
Probably 2 months, like a month to 2 months of really, really working. But like this had years of experience kind of behind it, if that makes sense. So, you know, like editing, writing, I use some AI tools that help me with like outlining and researching, you know, but all the writing was me. Because if you work with that stuff and all, you know, it's still not quite there.
Yeah, you've got to tweak it a lot for sure.
Yeah.
It'll spit something out, and you've got to tell it, hey, try not to sound so AI-y.
And then I have my part in my book where I'm like, I can tell. And some people say they don't, like, who cares if they can tell it's GPT? But I'm like, you want to show that there's
takes away
been
from the
some
authenticate.
yes, and our effort too. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like if you just have something, it's like, come on, dude. Like at least move some stuff.
Yeah, put a little effort in.
Have an original thought. Like, and they're saying AI is making even us, but especially young generation, stupid because you're outsourcing your thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're no critical thinking. You're like, tell me.
I was just talking because I had that attorney on last week, and we were just talking about AI and how it's with an attorney, the people who work under the attorney, the paralegals, the administration. He thinks that it's eventually going to kill those jobs below him, but there's going to be a gap in between generations where those paralegals who go to law school and become attorneys, they're not going to have that lawyery environment to actually learn in. And so definitely some risks with it, but
like the whole entry level, I've seen that too, is like completely disappearing. They want you to be mid-experience and senior experience in a lot of these jobs now because everything that they would do and learning, it's just not worth it. Like even with at my job here, like towards the end where I've left, like we were bringing in AI stuff and I had the numbers. I could tell you, I mean, it wasn't even doing 10% of like the views and the quality that like my stuff would bring in, but they don't care because it's like 0% of the salary.
Zero overhead. Yeah.
You know what I
pay
mean?
a couple $100 subscription a year, and it's
so this much is worth it when you're spending not like hardly anything to them.
Yeah, for sure. If you do this much 100 times, kind of makes sense from a business standpoint. So what's next for you, Brody, man? I mean, are you planning on more books? You planning on maybe courses, consulting? I mean, what are you kind of thinking?
Yeah, that was the thinking. I was kind of wanting to get more into like doing some coaching, you know, like media coaching. That, you know, they're having this kind of, this is like part of like what's legitimized me. You know, now, I know what I'm talking about. I have something I could show. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't intending like to get rich from this, but just kind of get my name out there and have like the funnel, I guess, business guys call it. So with like, yes, my consulting or coaching or just like freelance stuff, whether it's like how to get your pitch, like how to present yourself, you know, not, I wouldn't say like an image consultant, they say, for like how to look and act and get on stuff, but mine would be more specifically like what parts of your story and what you do is interesting enough to get that story told by people who have an audience, if that makes sense.
No, for sure. So who would you be targeting? And so me as a small business owner, you know, I own a little boutique firm, a couple employees, nothing crazy large. If I find someone like you, what would it be for me? Like, hey, Brody, I want to take my CMD brand to the next level. How do I do that?
Well, you already do a great thing in networking. You know what I mean? And I know that we have like worked together before, and there's like a separation between what you would pay for versus what they would call like earned media, right? So, especially with like speaking from me, I know lots of journalists too. They always need content. Think about it. Like you're so pressurized. We need to turn. They call it turning something. You get something going every single day.
You want stories.
So you can take advantage of that in the fact that they need you because they need that story to tell. So a lot of, in like with lifestyle is a little bit different because we do kind of like openly promote people sort of to a degree, but you would have to focus like, what is the interesting thing? So like for you, especially like during hurricane season, you could say, hey, I had this many people come out to me and I helped them out and they were dealing with this situation and I managed to help them with this and do that. And then they could be like, like your local angle, you could be like, local man like owns business and has been helping these people deal through this. And then they could come out and they could be like, they were like, oh, the insurance company sucked. They're screwing me over. I was so worried I can do it. And then, Daniel comes in or his people, and then all of a sudden they're talking to me and there's something like you want like a story that can be told. And that's like when you and I were working together, the first thing I said to you was like, and you were like, I feel like you were like surprised at what it was I was asking you. I said, okay, so like you're here, you got your kids, you're a family man, you're doing all this too. Like, this is like the stories that people want to hear. They want to feel good.
Something that resonates.
Or they want to cry, and then they're going to be like, oh, so he also does it. Well, I want to go to that dude. Yeah. Because now I know a little bit about him and I know, he's not just like, think about it. Even like like the housing market, like people hate when it's like one of these big corporations buying the house. They'll still sell to you. But if you have they know like a little family, they just had a kid or something, they're coming to buy the house. They might be like, you know what, I might sell to them because that story.
Yeah. Yeah. I want that family growing up in this house versus some corporation that's just going to do short-term rentals to nursing facilities or whatever it may be. No, completely understand that, man. And then what? You guys get views, if I'm understanding this correctly. You find a story that gets views, and then your network can sell advertisements because of the views, or?
Yes, specifically. They don't do, like, so in the news where I worked, and I have a section in here that addresses it, there are some places that will let you just directly pay to, like, either have, like, a segment or maybe, like, your product, like, especially. But for, like, a lot of news things, they're not allowed to do that because you can't have something exchanged, like, for favorable coverage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it has to be, like, like, newsworthy, like, on its own. Otherwise, if we did that, like, everybody could come in with their bullshit. They could just put it out there, and you would have no way of knowing what's, like, vetted or not, if that makes sense.
So the money could buy propaganda.
Yes. So it's like why even when you see like YouTube videos or other things, they say, so this is sponsored by, or, I've reviewed this sort of thing. They have to make it like very clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that's how you guys generate the money on your end.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Great, man. So let me kind of ask you something a little off the wall here, but what's, you're in lifestyle, but is that your passion when it comes to journalism or?
Yeah, I would say it was something that surprised me because I wasn't never something I considered that would be there because I was doing news. And I found myself, like, I'm being honest, like I would get bored. I was like, I'm doing like the same shit. Like everyone's like, oh, that's so cool. You work in news, or you're going to be on TV, you're going to do this. And like, I did a little bit of like the TV and hosting side. I've done, podcasting.
Yeah, I've seen you on the Bloom Network.
Yeah,
I've seen your little clips and on.
It's fun. I'm so fortunate that Gail's a 30-year news veteran. She's like a local celebrity here in the area, and she was always pushing for me to come on and co-host and do stuff. Like, so I'm very thankful for that. Like, she's been great. Like, and I love that stuff because I liked, I've always had an interest in like learning and meeting and like doing fun shit. And like I said, I had that creator thing coming up. So lifestyle was way more like that because, like I said, it was like, instead of being like, well, here's what the mayor did, or here's how the tax law changed, or stuff like that, which is still important and cool. But instead, I'm in there talking about like, okay, like how do you stay fit? Like, how can you look young? Like, how can you make sure your girlfriend's obsessed with you? How do you deal with a breakup?
Different stories every day.
Yeah, lifestyle stuff that you're like actually interested in. Think about some of the podcasts that got big right away. They were like talking about shit like that. Right.
Yeah.
And so I got to like engage with that. Like I got to meet so many cool people through work, like doctors and psychologists and stuff like that. I always joke, like there's people that charge like $100 an hour to talk to them. And I would meet him through work, and they'd be like, here's my number, dude. Just call me anytime if you need any help.
Yeah.
And I get into a fight with my girlfriend, and I'd call this dude. I'd be like, dude, I'm so fucking. He's like, all right, bro, let's talk. Hey, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, people don't have access to that.
Power
and so, like,
network,
I love
man.
that. And then that's when I, kind of learned that. And I love that shit, dude. Like, that's what's interesting to me. Learn it, like, and I can actually apply it in life, right?
No, for sure. Always learning. Yeah, because if you're talking to different trades or different professions, doctors, psychologists, I'm sure you're picking up tidbits of everything.
Yeah.
And then if you're working with a host that's 30 years experience, I'm sure you learned a lot from her as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your next move then, man? I mean, you said you were
I'm looking around now.
Another position
I
right
did
now?
3.5 years there. It was great. I built a great thing, but it's time to move on, and I'm trying to either get into like senior leadership or maybe pivot into PR.
Yeah.
So
What's PR?
Public relations.
Yeah.
So that's what inspired me to get this, is because I actually talked to so many people who said, I'm paying $5,000 a month for this firm to do my PR for me and stuff like that. And some of these same people, like through friends, like I would get them on TV or do their story for like either nothing or like significantly less. And I was like, well, dude, like you're literally talking to the person that they would just come to and pitch. You know what I mean? And so again, that's like part of where I had that light bulb
you'd work
moment.
for football players, celebrities.
Yeah, or businesses.
Get on Instagram for
yes,
them. Those are the ones making the apologies and all that.
I know. They
I know.
do
Anytime I read one of those, I'm like, that motherfucker did not write that.
There's no way. Yeah, you can always tell. Imagine they're like reading from a
It's
script.
funny. Did you hear about the Raja Jackson situation?
Yes, I just saw this.
Yeah. Rampage posted an apology, and if you've even listened to 5 minutes of a Rampage interview,
no, it's not.
Damn well his PR team wrote that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, his son's a grown man though. You can't hold it. I mean, I'm sure he was rough on him, but still, dude, like that's nuts.
There's good money in that, man. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So
there is.
Just kind of when you handle the internal drama, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. And like, there's like there's a lot of growth, and just in terms of the way it runs.
So what all does a PR team do then? I mean, is it just that? That's kind of my extent of the knowledge on it. I mean, or do you help the brand in other ways as well, like maybe grow?
So there's different versions, like the one you're referring to, where like an
Puts
actor
out
or
fires.
somebody might have a team, they do that in their image. Or there's like helping brands get their product talked about and known and seen, and getting like they call it like authority, right?
Yeah.
So like say like the site I worked at was around for 10, 20 years, people know the name. So if they see your stuff being talked about by them or available on that, you automatically get the secondhand authority from that, even if you've only been around for a little bit, right?
Yep.
And so that's like what they're willing to pay for. Like we would have shucksters on all the time. I remember there was this guy that had like a pillow. He had like a pillow that he had made. It was like a site, I don't know, for like pregnant ladies or something like that.
I've heard. I forget the name, but I've heard of it.
You know what I mean? And he's like wanting so bad to come on and push. And we're just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like you could tell, like he just was so thirsty for it. I'm like, this is exactly like, this is so valuable to people. And I had always just thought about it from an editorial point of view, and not really that there was like so much actual like money in it, right? That it's like a whole business. Because I come from ads. Ads is where you make the money. You make the content that people want to watch. Content's just content, and the money comes from advertisers wanting those eyeballs, right? Not the actual content itself making the money, if that makes sense.
See, that's my understanding, is that you put eyes on content, advertisers pay.
Yes.
I mean, from what you're saying is there's other ways. What do you mean money by the content itself?
So like they sponsor actually, like, so maybe they, if like a boat company wants to advertise their boat, right? They have like the money and the budget for it. Instead of just advertising like on a little banner or something like that, they could just pay like a reviewer to review their boat, if that makes sense.
Oh,
so come on and like
pay someone
who has a boat channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so or like that, all the gun channels are
so
like
and
that.
that's how the the gun channels, I see them
They're
all the
all
time.
like that. Yes.
That's the social media influencers.
Yes, because it wouldn't be possible for them to have all that stuff without it being like either provided or borrowed, and then also being paid, like, because that's their content.
That's kind of a form of ad, though, no? Just like some more direct,
it's like a sponsored thing,
yeah.
And then, but they've so streamlined advertising that now they're like you can buy ads like on. I did it for my book, like for a few cents, you get people to look, and then maybe they'll buy or something like that. Whereas you used to think you spend like, like for the Super Bowl, you hear they spend millions of dollars to get it shown.
Ads.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. But you can apply that to damn near anything. on any scale, right?
It's funny because every time I'm watching TV, me and my wife were watching a movie last night, and in the movie, the family's sitting there at their couch in the living room, and they're eating McDonald's, and I'm just like, I'm always thinking business. So I'm like, I wonder how much McDonald's paid
just to have that there. Yes, exactly, and they do that too. So it's pretty cool, man. So.
No, it's definitely interesting. So how does this apply to smaller businesses, though? You know, like you're mentioning PR, ads. You know, if you're, I mean, let's think of a random business off the top would be, I don't know. Let's say there's a business and it's a production, but let's say they make golf clubs.
Yeah.
A new guy starting to make golf clubs, producing them. What does someone like that do? And I'm just trying to think of the most random thing I can think of.
No, like, so that's a great example for like producing something or like a service business like what you have. So I can take what you just gave me and I can give you an example that actually was part of what helped me spark this idea. There was a somewhat local business in Tampa that does like barbecue, right? A barbecue business. You've probably been there. It's real good. Love it. They do successful. And they were putting on like an event. It was a charity event where they were going to have people come in, you know, for some sort of like really messed up stuff, like, you know, like kids with it's like some specific disease I wish I could remember. But they were going to have like food there and you could buy, and it was like basically like a food festival thing where they were also getting donations for the thing, and they wanted help promoting it, selling tickets, getting the name out there. So the person told me that they were paying, like they would go to a PR company, like an agency, and they wanted like $5,000-$10,000 for them to write press releases and send it out to the media or tell them what to say and how to say it, right? So that is what the traditional route would be. But if you don't have that kind of money, and then that it can be successful because those people come with the network, the contacts, and they know how to make the stuff work. But if you didn't have that kind of money, you would look at probably like your local news stations, right? Like somewhere where I had worked, and you would go to their contact page and you would put together your story or like your pitch and send it in there and hope they have something, right? Because you have to understand that, like, and that's like the best way, because other than that, you're buying, you're paying, you basically have to pay for stuff, a billboard, radio ad, something like that.
Pay someone to use your golf clubs, review your golf clubs.
There, or you're giving clubs away, right? Which you can just do at cost. That's like barely something to you, but you have to already know the people and have access to them, right? Creators or whatever. So that would be a great first step, because you can reach out, and then if they have your story just for free, again, because the exchange is now I have content that I can get ad sales on the eyeballs for, and you get people to see that and use my built-in community, right? So that would be really the best way for a small business. It just takes a little bit of research, like, because they have it on there. Like if you don't have specific people's email addresses, right? We all know how valuable a good set of email addresses is.
Oh yeah.
You can just go to a general newsroom. So I could used to give people, when they'd be like, I want to pitch a story, dude, or something. What can I do? And it wasn't something I could handle or do for various reasons. I would say, here's the email that goes to everybody in the newsroom. So all 50 of our 20 or 10 of our journalists will see this. And then if they want to pick it up, they're going to contact you. And then that's really the most minimum level anybody can do that. You just a few sentences of what's interesting, which I guess I help show you what you can do. And you just send an email, dude, and just wait for them to reach out for you. And then you have something.
Yeah, you got to structure it properly, and you walk them through that in your book.
Because we get a lot of, like you said, lots of emails, and a lot of crazies too, saying the most wild, obscene shit.
I can prove the earth is flat.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Or they'll come in and they'll say something, and I've like, oh my God, I can't believe how many wackos reach out to like news, because I've never at one time in my life been like, I'm going to reach out to the news and try to get my crazy.
So I do it in work sometimes. WTV Fox Investigates. If I have just a blatant bad faith desk adjuster I'm working with, I'll send an email and I'll CC them, and I'll CC the governor's office.
Yeah.
And a lot of times not all the time, but in the past it has worked to
it is
kind of light a fire under them, and they've said, oh, wait a minute. No, we'll correct it real quick. Even though the Fox has never responded, the governor's never fucking responded. It's kind of a bluff, I guess.
Paper trail.
Yeah. So kind of scares them a little bit, I guess, if they see those in there.
Oh yeah.
Some of them.
Strongly worded letter can do things.
Oh, sometimes. For sure. Absolutely. So, man, now you said next, I know you were mentioning a specific thing you're trying to go for, but I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Tell me about that a little bit.
I'm thinking in terms of like career stuff, I'm thinking of either going into like leadership and news or media stuff.
So what does that look like? Leadership and news.
Yeah. So you like there's a difference between the actual people doing the work and the people that like train and help and like make sure stuff's
Review
above
the
board.
stories.
So like an editor is like what a middle manager would be
Mhm.
over like a journalist or a writer, right?
Yep.
Because you're making sure that everything's factually accurate. You're making sure that they're on time with their deadline. You're making sure stuff looks good.
Yep.
So that's like a different level of the game. And usually you've come from doing it actually yourself. Right.
Yeah.
And then above that, you would have like the director level who's like oversees the editors, overseeing them, who's like really like originating the direction that they're trying to go. So they get like the final say.
So you've got kind of multiple upper levels.
Yes, or like a managing editor, they would call it, which is like some of the roles that I'm looking for right now, which is technically like executive leadership. So you're at that tier right under the VPs and the editors in chief and stuff like that.
How many news outlets are there here in Tampa? I mean, or is this something that might take you out of Tampa?
Yeah, there's something that could take me out of Tampa. So people that don't know, it's all about market based usually, right? So for what people think of for news is like the big networks, right?
Yeah.
And those are all in New York and like LA and stuff like that, right? So it's based on market area. So like my first gig was a small, not like super small compared to where I was from, but like my first real news job was in a place called the Quad Cities. And there was like 2 TV stations there. Most big cities will have like one, and then, they have like a few dozen maybe radio stations. And then there's usually a newspaper or something like that. So it depends on market size. So in New York, there's probably like 6 news stations. There's 20, 30 different publications and stuff like that. So here in Tampa, we have, I think, 5. I've worked at like 3.
That's pretty big.
We have like Spectrum. We have the ABC one, WFTS.
I know we have
NBC,
Fox.
And then the Techno one. So yeah, there's 5. And they just
got a couple newspapers too.
Yeah,
no?
and a couple
and
of
radio
newspapers.
stations.
So it's crazy.
This is would you say mid-sized market here for you? Or?
So it's like top 25, top 20.
That's not bad,
in
man.
the US. Yeah, but it's like so concentrated at the top, dude. Like you would not believe. Like there's people that went to college and you see everything that they do and they're paying them like $30,000 a year. Even today. That was 10 years ago that my first job was $28,500. I couldn't believe. I was like, I make more money working at the cookie factory because I was going to school and working at a factory.
You do it for the passion, I guess, man.
And then that's what they prey upon. Yeah. Back in the day, like you mentioned, Anchorman, back in those days, everybody working in it was making big bucks because it was new and it was so. Yeah. But now it's just so it's crazy. Like there'll be like a ton of people making like that kind of money, and then the people like at the same station, there's people making 100, 150 grand to they just give
the top dogs.
They just give all the money to them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it really, really hard. Like a lot of people are shocked when they hear how little a lot of those people make.
No, I mean I never really think dollars when I think of journalists. I think honestly, I think passionate.
Right. Well,
obviously to tell the news.
Because back in the day, it was like respected. Like, oh, you're a journalist. Like that's cool, And now they're like, oh, well, you like to lie and do this and that too. So like even the respect levels, gone down. It's because the money's not there. They need to do what they can to make the money. Does that make sense? Like it's like kind of a self feedback loop.
Kind of amp the stories up a little bit, maybe grease the wheels
or also just by nature of focusing on what you're interested in, right? I can only see so much. If I'm noticing this or someone's told me about this or I'm personally passionate about it, I'm going to focus on that more, right? Versus this other thing. Because someone's always like, why isn't this on the news? Why isn't this covered? I'm like, well, maybe this is the first that I've heard of this. Yeah. So you tell me what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Or like you mentioned, I mean, even in your book, I think you said there's different types of writers. Like you may focus, I mean, you focus on lifestyle. Yeah. There may be that person, that writer you haven't run
Tech,
that by.
Finance, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so you really got to specialize in that because like all these sites that make money doing that, like there's some that have like the whole over-encompassing, but usually they have like a niche.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The riches are in the niches, man. So no. I know tech's big right now. I'd imagine there's a lot of stories in that. Yeah. Probably a different AI story every 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Cryptocurrency stories galore
all the time. Yeah, I would do big. And I would always find content from that too. And then it gives me an excuse to use my working hours to learn more about what I'm interested in, right? So I remember doing like a big expose on like crypto back when people didn't know about it. And I was able to spend hours and hours a day. Like, think about it. Like, most people don't get to do that because they're doing something else for their day job. But for me, I had the opportunity to use
research
that time
different topics,
to be paid to learn and then tell other people about it.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So now you just have to leverage it.
Yes,
so what
for my own
if you had to pick, man, because you said you're looking for upper management level, but is starting your own thing kind of something you're dead set on? Maybe this upper level is a temporary position until you can figure out how to
do my own thing.
Your own thing.
I would absolutely love that. And I know I have the product there and the service that I can provide, but it's just getting it going. It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And finding the people, hard, for sure.
Like, you know, they have some of these freelance sites you can go on, and they're just all awful. A lot of scammers or low ballers or stuff like that. Like,
we talking about Fiverr?
Yeah, stuff like Fiverr.
What's the other one? Upwork.
Yeah, Upwork's another.
Yeah, I hire people on that occasionally.
Yeah, but it's like a race to the bottom with that stuff. You know what I mean?
The work quality I get back is either it's great or it's garbage.
Yeah. Well,
there's almost no in between.
Exactly, and you kind of get what you pay for, right? Like, I've done some freelance work that's been great. I've been paid as little as $50 or $100 to put something together, and as much as like $2,500. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like just stacking those, but it's like, again, a lot of that's come through my network. Like, I don't have like the funnel where it comes into where it makes it sustainable enough to do like full time. You know what I mean?
You've got to land that big client before you do that.
And not only that, like, AI is changing a lot of that shit too.
How so?
So a lot of those things that you would outsource to people or pay for, right? Especially writing, copywriting, executive ghostwriting, stuff like that. Like, people can use, it's inferior, but it's better than the entry level people. But people are using AI to like to outsource that.
Yeah.
Even for me, like, I use it so much for research. Like, I used to spend hours a day researching, dude. Like, people don't get it. Knowing how to use Google or search engines is a skill. How to word things, how to search through. And if you haven't been of the internet that much, you don't understand. But even a simple way of like saying, you know, why does my dog look at me when it poops? Or, you know, something like just how to say that, like to get to the actual information. That comes down to like SEO and stuff like that too, which I specialize in. But like ChatGPT, which is one of my favorites, it cuts that completely, like more than in half. It took me 4 hours to look at different sources, vet them, right? And this Wikipedia used to be great for this to a degree because you could look at the sources. ChatGPT basically does all that shit for you in like a minute. Yeah. And then if you want to, you can further explore it, which you should.
Give me the link, boom, take you right
So
there.
I just shaved 4 hours off my workday of just figuring out that shit. And now it's boom, right in front of me so I can focus entirely on the
typing
other part.
up.
Yeah.
Nice. So what do you see happening in, I mean, next 3-4 years, the journalist then? I mean, is it something you think it's going to completely replace the entry level? Or?
I think a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are owned by big corporations and they buy each other out. So there's different rules about how much of a market they can own, you know, but that keeps going up all the time. So it's like there's like big, like maybe 4 or 5 big ones that own every station basically.
Yeah.
Like there's not many, like they bought up all the mom and pops. Like you used to be able, like you could start like a media company or a TV station or something and they would have bought you. Now that does not happen.
Yeah.
Right. It's like all owned by something. So it's going to be all concentrated at the top. Like it's going to be about trust and then like the relationship with like the viewers, right? People don't really watch TV as much now. We did some studies in my work or surveys or whatever they would call it exactly, where they were asking people where they get their news, why they watch it, what they're doing, different like age groups. And basically by far, by like 10 or 12, like 20%, it was all social media. People said they were getting their news from social media.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I don't remember the last time I sat down and put on the news channel.
Same.
I literally don't.
Even me, I've always said that.
Yeah.
I was always online. I'm a reader, though, or a watcher. So that's where I used to get mine, too. I would click, like, on Facebook, the headline in the picture or the story, and then see, like, the video of people talking and read more about it like that. But now it's, like, people just talking on it, too. And it's still valuable because we have different laws and regulations. I say we. Trying to get out of the business, but we used to have where it was like you basically can't lie. You know what I mean? You have to have checks.
There's certain
editorial integrity. and stuff like that, that none of that applies to the social media dude who's just on there ranting or telling you something. He's literally could be saying shit that either because he's ignorant or because he legitimately thinks that, or
So, like,
is
what
lying
would you
knowingly.
categorize
Could be
amateur
completely-
journalist?
Anybody, like even just like
You had to go to school for that.
yes,
right?
I do, and they teach you all about that. Like these people aren't doing that, and like it's great what some of them are building, but they could be an idiot.
Yeah.
They could not know what they're talking about. You think they are spending the time to actually call the people we're actually there or something, or they're just sharing an opinion? And then when you're consuming that, you have no idea what they have or haven't done. Versus if you went to like a journalist or something like that, you know that they have gone through and done all those and taken those steps. So that's where like, you know, misinformation and all that, like it's worse with that type of thing.
Yeah, see, the way I kind of consume is obviously on social media. Who doesn't get it on social media these days? But if it's a really interesting story or something big, I'll go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Then I YouTube videos and I watch, obviously, all the YouTube people, whoever's got their podcast or whatever, just talking about it.
I mean, I like documentaries and stuff. Like
I do like
I'm into it.
documentaries.
That's about it. But yeah, I've never been a big news guy watching TV like that either. It's like mostly older generations, or it used to be a thing, and now it's all streaming.
Yeah, we want everything quick these days.
Yeah.
If you notice, the ads are 10 to 20 seconds these days.
Yep.
In and out. Get the boom.
And going. It's all about what they call OTT these days, which is called over the top, which is basically like circumventing the networks or the thing. So it's like Apple TV or Fire or Amazon Stick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like those things that you do that, where you can just go on and download a specific, a channel, or like say if there was something from your hometown and you've moved and you can't see it, they probably have something on there now where you can go and directly see it. And then they just put their own ads on there, and they're completely circumventing the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if they're not showing ads on videos these days, they're tracking all your information, what you watch, what you like, and they're selling it. And then you get advertised on social media constantly.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I went and I turned that shit off on my Facebook, because it's like it can track you off of the site, and they basically just use that to sell stuff to you, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's joked about, like, I was talking to my buddy about this thing,
they're
and then you go and it pops up like there's an ad for it, or you look at it somewhere, and then it's fucking everywhere. And
think about it.
Yeah,
it's popping
literally,
up.
I'm thinking about it, and that is true. Actually, I went and I looked into that, and they do that. That is actually true. It's not reading your mind, but it's getting so good at like putting together a profile of people and like predicting what you'll be into at certain points in your life or with things, that it's able to put that stuff in front of you.
That's great.
So they basically are.
They have a profile on every. We live in a society of consumerism.
Yes.
We're just consumers. We consume. We consume.
Yeah.
So it's an advertiser's paradise.
Yeah.
And they've got ads everywhere, man. Even when you're watching shorts these days and doom scrolling, we're all guilty of it. But at the little bottom, you'll have that little ad for something popping up. And then they make it so inconvenient. They make the X so small
that you accidentally hit it.
You hit it, and it pops up.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
They've got traffic to the site. They do all that intentionally, I believe.
Yeah. So they have literal psychologists working at these companies to figure out human psychology. How can we get them to do what we want them to do?
Yeah. How can we get them to buy this?
Paid psychologists on the teams, dude.
So what companies do you see doing that?
I mean, like the big ones that have the money for it, like especially the social media networks.
Yeah, the big boys, Nike, McDonald's.
Meta has it. You know what I'm saying? Like Google, Microsoft, they all have because they want to figure out like how to get people to do what they want to do. Click on a thing, see a thing. TikTok has it. What makes you stay? Versus like they're literally hijacking the reward system in your brain to keep you wanting to like everything that we joke about. Like it's been designed that way. Think about how fun and interesting the internet used to look. You would go to different websites. They looked different. They were different colors. They worked differently. Some of the shit was the same. Now everything is just
kind of
boring and the same. Every app uses the same way. It's kind of nice in a way because you know what to expect, but all the uniqueness is gone because they know this is what works. And if everything's pre-built, even it used to build a website, you had to hire someone. Now they have these things that do them for you. Yeah. But it's the same template, so everything looks the same. Every Shopify store.
That's how I built my website for my business. I forget what it's called. What is that called?
They have
there's like 2 or 3 of them.
There's like Squarespace. I know
it's
that
not
one's
Square.
Good. GoDaddy does it. There's a few, but
essentially drag and drop.
Yeah, but the point being is now think about. I mean, that's great in some ways, but also we're completely removing all of the individualism, unique. So it's just
same thing. Copy and paste.
They say that we've over convenienced like a lot of the cool things out of life. Like most people these days don't know how to use a computer even. They're not typing. Just think about it. you know, I'm a gamer. I can say you have your nice computer setup. You don't necessarily have to know how to build one, but you know the basics of running the software or like doing different things. Now everything is so streamlined that if that part fails, they don't know how to do anything. There's no task manager even or going on, you know, we're not like coding, but you know how to do different stuff on the computer. Or
yeah, and if not, I can get on YouTube and figure it out.
Yes, but like on the apps and stuff like that, you can't get into that thing. Like think about like your phone or a tablet, how you like they're not letting you fiddle around with the stuff in there.
No, it's locked up.
Yeah.
You can do an update, software update if it needs it. And then other than that, you've got to run to Verizon, T-Mobile or whatever and have them check it out.
If there's not a button that says make PDF.
Well, they're doing the same thing to cars these days. Yeah. Like Dodge, you can't, I think it's the transmission oil. You can't change it yourself or they just make it so inconvenient that it's easier to go to the shop.
Even my mechanic buddies have told me that. They're like, yeah, be like an electrician.
Yeah, you've got to have their certain. I don't know shit about cars, but I've watched some videos that some mechanics because I try to do little stuff like change my oil, change my brakes and rotors. But Dodge apparently they make it to where you got to get into their system. Like you can't take it to some mechanic shop and have them hook it up.
Exactly.
So they're doing the same exact thing, man.
They increase the prices, and again, you're more specialized. You charge more because only these dudes know how to do this. Like,
and I heard Apple's doing something. I mean, from a business standpoint, it's genius, but
consumer, you're just
because they make I forget what percentage it was, but I was reading some article. They make I think 15 or 20% of their money comes from the Apple Store purchases on the app. There are future projections for the next 10 years, I think, are projecting it to get to 60, 70% of their income. So essentially what their strategy is they're going to make Apple iPhones so cheap that everybody can afford it. It's going to be in everybody's hand. And then from there, they're just purchasing everything off the...
Well, they're like the most expensive right now. It's interesting. And all these other phones, people always say Android versus iPhone, where they're getting pretty good. I mean, there's times I go to the store. I don't know if you've been recently, and you'll be like, there's like 15 ones there I never even heard of.
On the I just went
phones
to Best Buy
available or
last
stuff.
week
You're like, what is all this shit? I just thought it was these two. You know, it's like Samsung.
We have the Google one now too.
And it's good.
Google
but
something.
You're right, and there's been a lot of because literally they just own the storefront. They're like, why are they making this much money when they just kind of provide where it's at? Whereas the app developers and them actually making the stuff are getting such a small cut.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's the same with video games, dude. You used to buy a video game and you would play
microtransactions.
Story. Now it's all about microtransactions. Yeah. It used to literally be they would have gambling in video games and they've toned it down because they got in trouble like for kids.
Yeah.
Think about it. You see people in the casinos pissing themselves sitting there spending money because they don't want to get up but now you're going to have a kid whose brain is not developed sitting here getting addicted to running the slots or spending money to try and get something cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? But actually spending real money and you can't cash it out. There's no cashing it out. You only put in to get
you might be able to buy a skin or like something in the game.
Right.
So, I mean, but you got to think about it. We allowed that.
Yeah, we did.
As a society because we just cannot control ourselves. We just have to indulge in everything. We're fucking a group of gluttons.
Yeah, and we figured out how to take advantage of every
issue. And then the big corporations here, we're going to because back in the day, like you said, with video games, you'd buy a video game, you own the video game.
Yeah.
Now you do the digital download. You don't even own it. They can take it away whenever. And then you don't even get the whole game.
No.
Dude, I just spent $80 on this game. And now I got to spend another $80 just to unlock everything.
Or they make parts of it not fun or so inconvenient that you want to pay to skip it.
Yes.
The whole point of the fucking game is that it's supposed to be fun to go through that process and get the reward. And you're specifically, here's the problem. I'm giving you a problem, and I'm also selling the solution to the problem I gave you.
Yep. It's insane.
Unbelievable.
You know what's crazy, though, is I bought a game last week. It was a new game, $40, and it's the full game. I haven't seen any microtransactions.
There's been a big renaissance of those coming back that people have been really rewarding where they're actual games and they're doing that.
I think people are getting sick of it. Yeah. Same thing with I like to play Madden and
of course,
like the UFC games I'll get into a little bit. I like the sports games for the most part, but it's the same copy and paste bullcrap every year, and then they're charging $80,
and
whatever.
Barely updating it.
Yeah, it's just copy and paste for the most part. Yeah. They'll update the roster, and that's it.
And we've hit such a ceiling on like graphics and stuff too. Like,
I don't know if they can get much better. I mean, I think
until we get like a big jump. Now they're using AI in the in like the graphics creation.
Really?
So the card that I have an RTX 5080. I'm fortunate enough to have gotten my hands on one of those. It has like AI generated frames where it basically has an AI on there. What is it? Predicting what the next image should look like. Because, it flashes up on the screen like 160 frames per second or something like that. So your computer will actually process and render like 30 frames per second. And then the AI will mimic or put what it thinks based on that last image used.
Really?
So it can like double, triple, and quadruple
That's pretty
the
cool.
amount of frames that you see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But it's made with that. So it's not perfect, but it's enough. Like I use it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's cool.
Imagine 5 years from now, though.
Yeah. Well, already, dude, some of the stuff so these videos have gotten good so quickly, you almost can't even tell. There's still some giveaways.
It's always the mouth. I can tell with the mouth.
Well, it used to be the
mouth
hands.
moves.
It used to be.
But I think.
And now they're just getting so quick, so fast, dude.
There's a lot that comes with that, man. Because it is, dude. Because where do you draw the line on what you're allowed to do? Are they allowed to use your image and likeness to?
They seem to think so.
Do whatever they want with.
There's an issue with that for like actors and voice actors where they want to mimic their stuff.
Well, yeah, you think about it, like female celebrities, they can make fucking pornos with them.
Forget a celebrity
without their consent. It's insane.
Jenny down the street.
Yeah.
Your fucking kid.
Yeah.
They can do. People have done that shit, dude. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's the technology is advancing so fucking quick that I think it's going to come to a head where, especially with situations like that, like where you can just violate people.
Yeah.
It's something's gonna happen, I think.
Well, yeah, we have to figure out how to handle it. Otherwise, I fully believe that it could completely destroy us.
Yeah.
So it's got, I think, clearly labeled.
I love AI. I use it all the time with work, but I do see there are certain risks with it, especially that situation there.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, though, a lot of people are going to adapt regardless because it's affecting every industry.
A lot of people won't.
Yeah, but I think it's because I was talking about this to my lawyer buddy too, is that you think about 100 years ago, 120 years ago, we had the Industrial Revolution. You had vehicles just coming out. People were riding horses. You had the plow coming out so you can farm more land. And people were worried about the same thing then. Oh, well, they're going to take our jobs. When the refrigerator came out, well, why would I do that? Why would I buy that? Just all this stuff. And now our whole society runs on that. Refrigerators, air conditioning units. Stuff and all it really did is we adapted, we moved into factories working, we created new jobs for ourselves, and really, it freed up a lot more time for us to do more things. Because if you really think about it, really think about it, 120 years ago, who did you have? You didn't really have a lot of artsy stuff.
Unless they were really successful.
Yeah, the last 100 years, man, you were able to get great music, great films, great art, just because I think that Industrial Revolution helped people free up time to be able to do that stuff.
In the same vein, those people make a lot less money now.
Yeah.
Think about it, even they would sell CDs or they were more valuable. And now you can have tons of hits and be well known and be broke, dude.
Yeah, it's because the label companies take
that's part of it, but we've always over-optimized the fun and the stuff out of things. There was a lot of careers have gone by the by, but the difference with AI, dude, and I'm telling you, I get where you're coming from and I use it too. I've leveraged, it's changed, absolutely changed almost everything about what I do. And they're still fighting it. But this is different in the fact that it can do fucking everything. It will be able to do everything. They call them AI agents, which is where they use an AI and they put it into a third thing. So a robot. You know what I mean?
I don't know if we're quite there yet though. I don't see AI. In the future, yeah.
Soon, within our lifetime, dude. I say all the time, in 10 years, they're going to have sex robots. You can't tell the difference from a human. And I say in another 10 years, they'll be able to love you back. Then what?
That's full. At that point, that'd be full consciousness. Yeah. What do they call it? Autonomy?
Or close enough that it can think or do everything. It doesn't have to be, but it can be close enough.
Yeah, but if you get to that point, then
it does everything. But you have to still have to buy it. Who's going to buy all the shit we make if no one, because it's replaced everything. They're always going to.
Honestly, I don't have the answer to that, brother.
I used to say all the time, people are like, they want to, get rid of all the workers. If they raise the wage, they're going to just put computers and stuff in McDonald's. I'm like, baby, if they could do that, they would have done it already. They would have already gotten rid of everybody. So they're not there yet, but they absolutely will.
Yeah, but then it's It's the same thing, man, because if we went back 100 years and tried to explain the jobs that would be created, it's hard to think about something that doesn't exist yet. So I don't know. I think, we can't just let society collapse. That's not beneficial to anybody. There's got to be something that happens. I don't know. I have no idea, but I think these next 5 years, it's going to create a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's going to, if you're an early adopter, you can thrive using it.
It is making it easier than ever to do your own business.
Yeah.
Or find a thing and sell it. You know what I mean? At least advertising. I just got ads using AI the other day where it makes them for you. Like, this is what works. Like, and there's always a human element, but it's like for shit you used to have to really outsource or hire someone and you couldn't afford. Now you basically have a mid-level version of that in anything. If you have a legal problem, ask the AI and it could at least point you in the right direction instead of asking your fucking Uncle Phil who doesn't necessarily know what the hell. You had to hope you know somebody, and now you have that, right? Like,
you're definitely
how to cook,
cutting down cost, overhead. You're freeing up time. That's the current situation we're in.
Instead of it being spread around, it's just being all put in the AI companies.
Mm-hmm.
That money is still it's just going to there.
Well, I'm saying as a small business owner, it frees up time, makes you a little bit more money.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my money into that. I mean, I pay for a subscription for it, but
they have like a crazy version where I'm just like, that's not, if you're an enterprise, maybe. But
my take on it, man, is I'm choosing to be a little optimistic about it, and don't want to be too put off by it or too fearful of it. I've adopted it fairly early. I'm sure there's more I can learn about it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be all right. I think people are freaking out.
I think people are generally want to do what makes things the easiest. You don't even have to write your essays at school anymore. It can do it for you.
Now isn't it like, I haven't been in school in years,
math problems,
but
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't they have AI checkers?
They do, but they can't possibly be completely accurate. You know what I mean? If you put the Declaration of Independence into one, it says it's 100% AI written. It's because AI cannot create; it can only regurgitate what it knows. Mm-hmm. So it takes from things, and that's where copyright law and all that comes into play, or the art stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like,
I can see the negative aspects, but I think eventually it's going to come with some sort of regulations.
Yeah.
Especially with people's kind likeness.
Yeah.
There's got to be something there. I still think we're many years away from me calling a robot to come fix my plumbing or electrical work. I still think that's going to take
It's faster all the time, though.
I think trades are going to benefit a lot in the next 10 years or so. Because here's the thing, all the boomers are retiring right now.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a giant gap of a workforce, blue collar work that's not taken. They need workforce. I mean, from my understanding is we don't have enough workers.
Yeah.
That do the building, the carpenters.
I think the boomers are a lot of the ownership class too. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be mostly property and businesses and stuff that get handed down, and then they're all just going to, they're going to go to pay. I saw a thing, I don't want to get off track on this, but all that money is basically going to nursing homes, just so you know.
What's that?
All the money, because there's supposed to be some big wealth transfer as they're dying and inheritances, but the way we have shit set up, all that money is going to be paying state stuff, taxes, and then like nursing home fees. Families are hardly going to get any of that. But dude, I think I've heard that
nursing homes are expensive.
I've heard that that trade worker thing that you mentioned, but what I don't think people realize is we've been saying that for like 5 years, and everyone kind of knows is onto that game. I think we have a big, huge wave of those people coming, people, workers like that.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's going to be full again because every kid is saying that now too. They're like, well, I know if I go to be a plumber or an electrician because they say we need those and we don't need any more coders or whatever. Okay, well now they're just all choosing to do that instead. So the same problem just gets moved to that.
Yeah, I mean, it could. But I also think there's going to be new jobs created that don't exist right now.
Yeah.
That we can't even fathom.
They have to be. Well, even the coders are getting replaced by AI, dude.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's a developer, and he says he writes his code for him now. Like, all he does is review stuff, basically.
But that's the thing, and they can do it better than the entry-level people can, so they're not going to hire those people.
Yeah, I've heard that. They're already feeling the squeeze from what my buddies told me.
And everybody agrees those fuckers make too much money relative to what they do, dude. Like it's hard and it is specialized.
I don't know much about it,
but you can self-teach yourself and then go in and they're paying like fucking $300,000 to like these kids that are like 20. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Hey man, if they're making it, good on them.
They are, but that's because there's so much money in tech.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
no, there's definitely a lot of money in tech right now, and I mean, I don't see that changing though. I don't really see that changing too much. I mean, I think we're still going to have a human hand and stuff. I mean, we have to. We have to.
You have to.
I mean, what benefit does anybody have from a 30%, 40% unemployment rate? You know,
To people who already have money or own the shit,
Yeah, but
they don't care. They've always done what they can do.
but what benefits? I mean, if that happens, people are starving. There's an uprising.
Yeah.
It's you're gonna have. I don't know, man. I don't see.
I think you give humans too much credit, dude. They're
know, man.
short-sighted and they don't care. Like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too hopeful, but
like you said, greedy.
yeah. I mean, there is greed. No denying that. There is corporate greed. There is.
Look at our food. To make money, they made us all unhealthy and fat and shitty because it was cheaper to
Tastes good.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You don't think old fat cat sitting on his factories going, well, I save a few cents per product, so it adds up.
No, there's definitely corruption across the fucking board. There's corruption. There's a monopolization of companies, like media companies, for example. Like BlackRock coming in, buying up residential homes.
To them, they're just making money, and then the byproduct of that is they're fucking ruining a lot of, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying is I think it's going to be that same thing with AI or these companies where they don't even think about it. But the byproducts is just so terrible for that, and it might be too late before we realize.
Maybe. But I think maybe we have a responsibility as this generation to make sure our next generation, the alphas, the Z's, whatever, don't run into what the boomers left us with, because they left us with shit.
Well, we're like the last generation that had seen so much fucking change so quickly, dude.
Yeah,
I remember back in the day we were still using floppy disks for it was like 1 year we were still on like
I remember
computers were
internet,
big and
dude.
gray. I know TVs were enormous. Yeah, if you're on the phone, my mom would be pissed off if I was online because she couldn't call the
or
house.
If you're online and then someone makes a call, it kicks you offline.
Yes, or I remember my first fucking full touchscreen phone. I think it was the Chocolate or the Dare or something like that.
I don't even remember my
in the
first touch
Razors.
screen.
Yes,
maybe like 08, 09.
But just in our time, like age range, we've seen so much change, and that's gonna keep happening. But technology gets faster and faster. How much, like exponentially, how much it increases. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. It's tough to say. It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Really hard to say.
Unless you're like a scientist of it and on the cutting edge. Which
honestly, I don't know much about it. Like, I'm not an economist. I'm not, but I have my theories. I have my little theories of what I think. But then again, I could be completely wrong. Or I could be halfway right. Who knows?
You want to hope you're right, though.
I'm gonna choose to be optimistic. I'm gonna choose to be a little optimistic. I do definitely see dangers with it. I do definitely see things that could be used for bad, but and don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. There are going to be people who choose to use it for that, but I'm of the mindset that majority of people aren't inherently bad.
No.
They're just idiots.
Well, I mean, what do you think happens when, and it's already happening, you can create your perfect partner into an AI. People fall in love with it. Talking.
I don't know if you could fall in love with a robot. I don't know. It's like some sci-fi
people
shit.
Fuck dolls, dude.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? Now imagine it can talk back to you and do. That's what I'm saying. In relation, like birth rates are falling.
They already are. That is true.
Young boys than ever are not having sex or having relationships. Women are more choosing to monetize instead of being in relationships.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being in the dating scene right now.
Right. I can't.
I'm so fortunate and happy that I'm already married and have the kid and all that.
But think about they don't know how to talk. They're so worried about shit. Instead, you have this robot. They know how to take your dopamine. You know what I mean? You're falling, like people are in love with that. Like, what does that do to our society? And that's before you can even buy a robot that looks and acts like, that's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, Japan already does some weird, crazy stuff with their VR.
Yeah, they're way ahead of shit.
Yeah, they're definitely into that. So I don't know, man.
Because then you don't have to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Why would you deal with any adversity or get into an argument with them when you can go back to she's set up exactly the way you like? You know what I mean? Big, huge ears, long nose.
Yeah, but then women will do the same thing with men, They'll get their male robot and I guess program him to be Mr. Dreamy.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Are those robots going to work? You know what I mean? Are they going to have a 9 to 5? Are they going to bring in an income? Or there's so many questions.
Be a basic income? I don't know. I mean, a lot of factories have robots in them. There's no reason to think that they can't get a robot that could walk around and do other shit.
Yeah.
flip a burger, do surgery. They use robots to do surgery already, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
but then what's the, like random question, but what's the battery life on those things?
No.
You know, I mean,
well, Teslas have what they have.
Yeah, but those things are huge.
Charge them up. They can solar it.
What's that stuff that goes into the batteries?
Lithium.
Yeah. Yeah. What, we're gonna mine the shit out of more lithium?
Yeah,
when do you? Even if robots do come, are they going to be mass produced, or are they going to be something only the wealthy can afford? I mean,
probably at first, certainly only the wealthy. I mean, you can already buy a Tesla robot thing. It's pretty much pointless.
Is it out?
Do it. Yeah, some people have them. I don't think it does much, but I mean, if you've seen, I went to Epic Universe semi-recently.
Is that the one that just opened?
Yes, dude.
What is that?
It's like their attempt at like mimicking like the Disney thing. Because if you've been to the other Universal parks, you know kind of how it is. But
yeah, we go with my daughter.
It has like a central area park, which would be like they're kind of like Magic Kingdom, and then it has like 5 other ones around that are themed. So it's fucking awesome, dude. I loved it.
Is it?
Was so cool. There was like a Mario World there that I loved to have.
So it's I heard about it. I didn't know it was open already.
Oh yeah, I went. I got to go before it opened because
you're in the news.
Yeah, exactly. So I covered that. But
nice.
I was there, and some of the dragons that they had like a baby dragon, dude.
What is it? Game of Thrones?
No, How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay,
that Pixar one.
Yeah.
And it was walking around and looking around, and it could blink, and it had skin on it. And it was crazy. I recognized it was the Boston Dynamic. Have you seen like that 4-legged robot that they have?
Yeah.
I had never seen one actually used for anything, and they had it like in thing. It could walk out, and it could listen and respond to things, and it would look around, and it would move on its own. Jesus. And I go, that's fucking crazy. Like that they have that. But that's my point. Like they will be doing that, and they can to some degree. Like.
Yeah, I think right now, man, like I was saying, I mean, I think the next 5 years is opportunity.
Yeah.
You capitalize,
well, it's still new enough.
Make
it's
your
like
money.
With crypto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now enough normies are into it where it's still like people were becoming millionaires because they were so early into shit.
Mm-hmm.
AI, we're kind of past that phase, but we still have just enough to where if you're still quick enough or you learn that you can really profit from it. And
yeah, I think a lot of businesses need to focus right now on automations, having processes like put in place, actual processes, and then automate as much as you possibly can. And that's where you're going to maximize your profits, keep your overhead as low as possible, and knock it out of the park the next 5 years.
It's a tool that should assist, not replace. I think, on the other hand, that a lot of companies are using it too much.
Yeah. That's what I said. I mean,
generic.
I think if it gets to that point where we're seeing mass layoffs, I think there will come a time where regulations are implemented.
Yeah. Well, people are in revolt. I think they won't wait that long. You can't even work.
If you think, dude, I read an article. I forget the exact percentage that it said, but it was X percentage if hypothetically X percentage of the population became unemployed with no income, at that point you've got no food, you've got no shelter. It's going to lead to a revolt once a certain amount of people get to that level, and who knows? Maybe it does happen. Yeah. But then maybe what follows are regulations. For certain companies of X value.
We've always been able to outrun the consequences with technology, but we might hit a point where we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. I mean, I guess I'll get my popcorn and watch.
As long as you take care of your own shit, man. Like that's what you said in these next 5 years. If you can get something going, your own money, be self-employed, like that's going to be the issue is like working for somebody is really, really.
Well, here's the thing too, man. Because, I mean, let's say AI. There's so many jobs that I still feel are going to take a human touch, So, for example, I mean, sure, AI might be pure logic, but it doesn't have that thing that makes us human, So, for example, if you're a PR company, can an AI really be a PR company? Does it have that understanding of how people are going to react to certain situations that
you go on your Instagram now that we've had this conversation and you start getting ads for AI PR companies, you tell me. You know what I mean?
You think that's a thing?
Oh yeah, I've seen them. Like they're trying to like people like a one-man thing. And it's funny you say that too. My girlfriend said the same thing. I was like, the strippers better look out, man. Like the AIs come. She's like, no, people will always want a human touch. I'm like, you are vastly underestimating how many losers there are that will go to the sex robot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sex robot whorehouses.
Yes, exactly. And they'll be able to charge a fraction of what a person would need, and then you could fucking be as heinous as you want.
That's kind of gross, though, dude.
It's really gnarly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would people go to strippers anymore if they can just go to an actual robot prostitute?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a different thing, but you know what I mean? If you're that fucking depraved, you can just go to that next level.
I mean, I guess. I honestly, I could see that happening. I
Yeah.
could see sex robots being a big industry. I mean, who knows, Brody? Maybe we put our money into that right now.
Honestly, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough to say,
know.
dude. It's very, very tough to say. But I mean, I'm excited though. I'm excited for it. You know, the just opportunities that I think it's going to bring. As I was saying, so one thing I was saying that I've been seeing, and one opportunity I think that's coming from this is if you have a small business right now, and I've said this before, if you learn to use your business, learn to automate your business as much as possible, and then you can consult and teach other people to automate.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, even though these tools are coming out, there's a lot of people that are naysayers. There's a lot of people that are refusing to adopt it. It's going to get to a point where they're going to have no choice but to adopt it eventually. And they're going to have to be shown how to use these tools because they're becoming more complex as time goes on. Yeah.
Or just hire someone maybe they'll be hiring designated AI users at companies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's the complexity's going up. Yeah. The people that are refusing. What do you think the percentage of naysayers are? You think it's about half and half?
I think the regular Joe is using it now because they're putting AI into everything more. But I used to say even like a year or two ago, it was probably like fucking 70% of people were not on the AI train, dude. Now it's probably maybe 40. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I think out of so let's say 60% of people are using it. I think a big percentage of those people are using it at a very basic level of, hey, what's the best time to walk my dog in the day?
Yeah.
You know, like just very basic, like almost like that old person trying to Google something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's just like Googling and then replacing, first off, searching. Like search sucks now because they have all the AI results. But you're right. And it's like how to get to the meat of like the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that the people who are early adopters right now are going to be able to monetize that in some aspect down the road.
A lot of people are, but I think there's a lot of just shit companies that are going to
make quick money and fail. I use AI so much that I've used so many different AI products that they're not all created equal. Yeah. There's some that are shit.
Exactly.
They suck. Yeah. There's some that are better than others. So, you know, I still think we have time. I think we have some time. Yeah, we're in the middle of it, but I still think we've got time.
I think so too.
So, and even with the trades, man, even if that does become saturated over time, which I don't know if it is, man, because we're like, look at our society. We're so lazy.
Yeah.
We're so lazy. We want to play Call of Duty all day and eat Tostino's pizza rolls.
And that's what they let you do.
Who wants to go out and dig ditches and do plumbing?
You want to go put in their hours of work and go home, dude. Like, and people are realizing, like, it used to be you'd be obsessed with the job, and now, like, you just start getting shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're punching a regular 9 to 5 and they're not paying you dick for a salary, and you know, you're better off these days job hopping.
Yeah,
work at a company for 2-3 years,
literally.
Go job hop.
That's what I've had to do.
Go get a promotion.
Dude. Like literally, I've like had to have like 8 jobs. You know what I mean? And every jump was like 20%.
Dude, before I started my company, I think, oh crap, what am I? I'm 35 now. I think I was 30 when I started, and between 18 and 30, so 12 years, I think I had about 20 to 25 jobs.
Yeah,
I mean, it was, dude. I was
shit.
I'm serious. I was a job hopping son of a gun, dude.
I would challenge you, dude. Apply to McDonald's today and see if you get hired.
I don't think I would.
They probably fucking wouldn't.
Oh,
you can't. It's like hard to even get those jobs, dude.
I mean,
I used to work at Burger King. I hated it.
I mean, I think I'd be overqualified for that.
But even then, no, you don't think they get people that got laid off and they just need a job and they're like, okay, I'll work here, and they won't fucking get it.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't been in the job market in a while,
I've applied to. I was getting more interviews 2 years ago than I am now, and I have 2 years more experience for different jobs. The job.
Are you looking in multiple markets?
Yeah, everywhere. I'm telling you, like it blows my mind, like how, and like even before that, I was getting an interview a couple times a week 4 years ago, and now it's like a couple months go by, I can't even get one. It's just like the demand for experience and like the competitiveness, and also people just not hiring. You know, they just readjusted the jobs report where they're like, no, actually, we lost a lot of fucking jobs. My bad. was wrong, you know?
Oops.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, well,
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, it's really tough to even get a job right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Regardless.
I definitely can sympathize, you know. That's dude, start your own thing.
Yeah, well, the kids are fucked, dude.
Start your own thing.
But think about your kids, man. What are your fucking kids? They're gonna live with you, dude, until they're in their 20s. That's normal now.
Yeah.
The mid-20s even.
I mean, culturally, though, that's a completely normal thing in Europe.
Yeah.
Greece, Italy.
So it was to us that we were like, no, like you should be able to make it on your own, at least, you know, or if you're a fuck up, you have a couple more years.
You can't make it on your own.
No. Dude, my rent's like probably the same as fucking people's mortgages, dude.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, you're downtown, aren't you?
Yeah,
I believe it.
You know, like you look at studio apartments that are like $3,000 a month, and you're like, it's nuts. There's no way. Who can? That's more than a lot of these people make. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something's broken for sure. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very fortunate because I remember back a lot of my jobs. So I used to work in the oil field in my 20s, but before that, I rented an apartment over by Tyrone, and I had a 2-bedroom apartment for like $700 a month.
Oh my god,
back in the day,
crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, I had it, and I rented the second room out.
Yeah.
But then when I worked in the oil fields for all those years, I stayed in what's called a man camp. So they provided housing with
jobs. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, so I had no bills. I was able to save up money. And then when I came home, I got with my wife, and we moved in together. So we had 2 incomes.
Yeah.
So I've kind of, I couldn't imagine how these kids are these days, turning 18 and just. I mean, you've got to be smart. You got to
even smarter and get together and then
find a job that provides housing. That if you're, and this is what I told people too, is if you're a young guy, oil fields is a great job.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get experience,
they do pay crazy money out there.
Honestly, man, it's not that hard unless you're a roughneck and you're actually tripping pipe on the drilling rig, which I didn't do that. I worked on the frac sites. Yeah, there were days that were hard, but it's no harder than, I'd say roofing's harder.
Yeah.
Carpentry, you know, if you're plumbing,
hard work,
it's all hard work, man. Yeah. But if you can find a job that provides housing, pays for traveling, pays per diem, and you're a young guy, dude, go do that for 2-3 years. Save your money.
Anymore. It's not worth it. Like it used to be, you were guaranteed to do good. Now,
if you're in the oil fields though, you're making $100K a year.
Yeah,
you know, maybe more, $200K if you're really putting hours in.
I think the average household is like $50K right now, dude. That's a household. That's not an individual.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. If you're a young guy, find something like that.
You need to do, yeah.
3-4 years, save.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can buy a house. Get experience, and then go start something. It doesn't have to be oil field though. It could be welding. It could be something.
Just something that pays.
Something that pays.
I agree. I say if I could go back and do it again, I would just go into something that would make me a lot of money that wouldn't make me completely miserable.
Yeah.
Not even chase something passion.
That's hard though. I mean? Yeah.
I like being able to find something. I would just go code or something like that. Like,
I mean, shit, it's never too late, brother. Make a change.
That's what they say. But I'm fortunate enough to be at a point here where I got kind of past that little hump.
Yeah.
It's just
you'll find something. You'll land that next gig. Just perseverance, man. Just keep going. That's life though, man. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. Just when it's good, enjoy it. When it's bad, do everything you can to make it good again.
That's what I say. You have to have the bad times to enjoy the good times.
That's
you don't have downs. You don't know what the ups are.
That's the beauty of life, man. Yeah. It's just like, that's the human experience, brother. You get everything, man. You get angry days. You get to feel love. You get to feel sadness. You get all of that, dude. It makes you appreciate the good stuff.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, just keep grinding. Keep grinding, brother.
Thanks, brother.
You'll get it, man.
Maybe next time we talk, I'll have my own business.
Yeah, man. Well, this is cool as shit, dude. Being an author, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shit, I'm not an author.
Out of it.
I can barely write a sentence.
Yeah, shit, I can barely read one sometimes.
So, all right, brother. Yeah, we're about an hour 15. So, anything else, man? Or
I think that's it, man. If you want to check out my book, it's great.
Yeah. How do people reach you, man?
So you can find me on Instagram at Bro Wood. You can find my book on Amazon. Just search up Brody Woodell or How to Get Your Brand Featured. If you're like at any stage of the game, like it can help you figure out how to get your message out there and get your word and get that get your story out there, get seen by people so they come to your product.
Brand manager.
Yeah,
great. Exactly. See, there's a job.
If you need coaching, reach out to me. I have the link on my Instagram. get you in there, and we'll figure out whatever stage you're at.
So what would you say the best kind of business to call you would be?
Probably a service-based business right now.
Service-based right now?
Yeah. Okay. Products are good, but like the main thing that I'm going to be able to help you with is finding your voice and your message.
So what if you had a roofing company, for example, and maybe they do one free roof a year for a family in need? Would that be a good story?
That's fucking perfect, dude.
Yeah.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
I can save you 10 grand coming to me with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
really get eyes on that.
Yes, and tell you how to do it right.
How many views do you think something like that could get?
I mean, anywhere from 10,000 would probably be the minimum, even just doing on socials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're not very popular on your socials, but like on getting to like the networks or the websites with that kind of story, I mean, you're looking at upwards of like millions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really just depends like what hits. But if you have a good story like that, that's a lot better than just like, well, I started a new business and I fix roofs. Okay, that's cool. Like,
I helped a single mother out.
Yes.
We did a roof for free.
Exactly. That's way different because then people are like, well, that's a good fucking dude. I want to go to him too. Or that's just a fun story in general. The stories are what matters. That's what people remember. They don't always remember names.
Remember logos. They don't always remember
yes, but they will remember.
They remember jingles. I remember jingles.
Dude, I still have some that are stuck in my head that I can't say.
Well, I think that's a good piece of advice, man. Appreciate you coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Let's wrap her up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.